These pictures, some of these photos are really disturbing, and I know we've put some out today. There are many others, and some of the other photos that we did not put out today are incredible.
I forgot when we hit hour 2 to remind all of you to subscribe, support the show so that we grow and so that we hit 3,000 at the end of the month, because it's a funny number and that would be fucking great. If you can afford to, if you cannot, then God bless, I completely understand. Words.
Be disturbing.
Today's batch of Epstein photos were secured by the House Oversight Committee, even though, like all House...
Except, like, come on, 0 Western taxpayers is embarrassing. I feel embarrassed for you and for myself. 0 Western taxpayers is insane. Because there's been plenty of base, like, developing world taxpayers. Thank you, Kipawa. Thank you very much, my friend. But 0 Western taxpayers is wild. It's absolutely wild.
This committee's right. It's under Republican.
Thank you, Kipawa. Everybody say thank you, Kipawa.
Control. The Republican majority's hand has been forced to some extent, both by the toxic politics of Epstein. It's on that committee, including ranking member Robert Garcia of California, and Congressman Robert Garcia joins me now. It's good to have you in the program. I want to just follow up with the thing you said this morning, which I think has been haunting all of us all day, about some of these are very disturbing. And I wonder if you could just elaborate what you mean.
It's been haunting it, but it's been haunting everybody's like, oh, I can't wait for these photos, dude. It's going to be so much content. Holy fucking shit. I can't wait for all the content.
By that, about disturbing, because we're talking about Jeffrey
No
Epstein.
worries, abortion now. You owe me nothing.
Right. I mean, look, I think first what's important is obviously we received, this was just yesterday, 95,000 photographs from the Epstein estate. We were able to put out so far probably about 75 to 80 photos throughout the day today, many of which you've seen. A lot of the public has now seen, which is incredibly important for transparency. And our intention is to put out as...
The reason I need to buy a new chair is because, look, this is maximum. My head is above this fucking thing. Like, what the fuck? Is this made for Albanians, like short people? Like, what the fuck? Why is this is me just sitting upright. Why is my head on top of it? Sorry, angry moment at hot chair min. Like, I'll buy a new chair. I swear to fucking God.
Many of the photos as possible while protecting, of course, the survivors, including in the photos.
Yakub's great soldier. Aren't Albanians supposed to be tall? You are not Yakub's great soldier. Why do you not know your woke race science, my friend? No, Albanians are incredibly small. Except Kosovo Albanians, but Kosovo Albanians are tall because they have many of the sexes with the Serbs and the Bosnians. Many sexes with them and through years, and that makes them tall. That's literally the meme. You look at Kosovo Albanian, very tall. You look Albanian from Tirana, very short. So why are these ones tall? Because they have the sexes with the Serbs and the Bosnians. Yes?
There are many photos of women and many photos that are disturbing and that need to be redacted and that we need to think through very carefully in how those are presented to the public. Because at the end of
Heretical? That is fucking crazy. I did not know this.
the day, the most important thing is that we
Jesus was not Serbian. Jesus was Albanian.
protect
I will not allow the slander in this here, okay?
the survivors. And I've personally met with numerous survivors, both individually and in groups, and this is critical to the investigation.
Wait, sorry, I was not listening to about American pedophiles. I apologize.
First, what's important is obviously we received, this was just yesterday, 95,000 photographs from the Epstein estate. We were able to put out so far probably about 75 to 80 photos throughout the day today, many of which you've seen. A lot of the public has now seen, which is incredibly important for transparency. And
dude, chat, you know what I found? Motherfuckers, I'm about to blow your fucking mind. I'm about to blow your fucking mind. Five years ago, 21,000 views. Noam Chomsky gives his take on Jeffrey Epstein. Thank you to the chatter that slid in my DMs with this. I pre-watched this. Wait. I pre-watched this. Wait for it. Let me 1.5 it till we get there. Wait. The guy asks him the question. Listen to the questions.
One of the things I did want to make sure that I asked you about, a lot of these issues we've been talking about, in many ways seem to fall back to a lack of accountability for especially people in power.
5 years ago.
And it really does seem like when you get to a certain level of wealth and power that you're really just not going to face the kind of consequences that ordinary people would face. And one of the cases recently that has really underscored that phenomenon in a dramatic way was the case of Jeffrey Epstein. And I only ask you because he was vaguely affiliated with MIT, where you had taught for many years, and he had donated to the Media Lab.
He's asking him about his affiliation to MIT. He's not even asking him about his affiliation to Epstein himself.
Interacted with top scientists and intellectuals. And this
He doesn't even know that there were interactions. Only 2 years later that we hear about Noam Chomsky and Epstein interactions. So this is a Chomsky talking to this guy, knowing that nobody knows fully that there was a direct relationship between them and that they were objectively buddies. With all due respect, they absolutely were. And they also hung out Epstein was a link between the academic left or whatever the fuck you want to call that shit with the dark Leninist Brennan movement. Okay,
was after his first conviction, which the MIT Media Lab knew about.
After the conviction.
And even if he wasn't fucking children or whatever the fuck, his flirting with large capital and his flirting with right-wing political power insinuates that he potentially was doing most of the things he was doing as a grift, which then puts into question a lot of his, especially geopolitical analysis.
But also after his service.
Okay, yeah, listen to this. This is incredible. This is incredible. Just I'm going to leave this without comment. Listen.
Which the MIT Media Lab knew about.
After the conviction, but also after his serving his sentence. There's a principle of Western law that once a person has served a sentence, he's the same as everybody else. It seems to be forgotten. So there's some other interesting questions. Jeffrey Epstein gave, I don't know what, say $1 million to MIT. Is he the worst person who's contributed to MIT? What about in my office at MIT, when I was there, I'm not there anymore, I looked out the window of my office and I saw the David Koch Cancer Center. David Koch, Ken, is surely a candidate for being one of the most extraordinary criminals in human history. I already described what he did. He was personally responsible for shifting the Republic.
So, when people heard this 5 years ago, they were like, okay, he's doing interesting commentary. He's like, why are we only now talking about the types of people that contribute to universities? Because it's like a famous pedophile. We should have talked about this for years upon years. So it sounds like he's like, oh, you guys are just now finding out that evil billionaires and millionaires and pedophiles donate to universities. This has been happening forever. Like, you uninformed plebeians. This is what this sounded like 5 years ago. Right? Okay, very good hot take. Objectively good hot take. He's like, why is this news for everyone, right? That's what it was then. Now, holy mother of God. Holy mother of holy fucking shit. Holy mother of holy fucking shit. And you tell me I don't do investigative journalism on this motherfucker. I dig this shit out of the fucking gutters, dude. This says 20,000. There you go. Fucking spread this shit like a motherfucker, okay? Let it start from this stream, dude. Spread this shit like like the plague, baby. Okay? In the current context, he's simply he's like, ooh, everybody at MIT flirted with evil people. Why can I not flirt with evil? I quite enjoy flirting with evil. Isn't it hypocritical for you to call me out for flirting with evil when so many others have flirted with evil? It's like getting caught, being a frat boy and getting caught slipping some shit into a drink. And then some base dudes and ladies are like, stand up. We're about to break your fucking legs. And they're like, but everybody else is also putting pills in girls' drinks. That's literally that's what this was. He was like, yo, like, what the fuck? And he's not even asking him about his relationship to Epstein. He's asking him about Epstein's relationship to MIT, and he's immediately defensive, and he's like, oh, don't you know, like, what about the other evil guys that have contributed to this? It's the same thing. This is incredibly fucking hilariously stupid and egotistical and pathetic and fucked up. Exceptionally fucked up. He's doing the, oh, why are you crucifying me? Everybody else is doing it. Everybody says the N-word, and yet you have caught me. Why don't you arrest everybody? It's like that lady that everybody's that lady. Jebote začepi, jebote. Where's the lady? Do I have the lady that everybody's editing in a really cool way? Now, where is she? Wait, I think I know how to find her. Ticket lady.
Why the f*** doesn't he get a ticket?
Ma'am, I can help you talk to somebody.
He didn't use his turn signal!
But wait, this is a really good. Wait, turn signal. Wait, turn signal. She's very talented. Turn signal metal. Come on. Maybe this.
Why the f*** doesn't he get a ticket?
Ma'am, I can help you talk to somebody.
He didn't use his turn signal!
So good. This one. This is all
Why
good.
the f*** doesn't he get a ticket?
Ma'am, I can help you talk to somebody.
He didn't use his turn signal!
So good, dude. But yeah, the parallels with the Chomsky are very obvious. So yeah, you got the link. This is a terribly underrated catch right here. 5 years ago, standing on 21,000 views. This needs to hit some more mainstream coverage. My boy was basically, hey, everybody hangs out with pedophile, evil imperialists. Why can't I hang out with pedophile, evil imperialists? And to contextualize for the final time, this was him saying all of this before he was directly linked to this shit. So, very problematic to say the very fucking least. Very problematic. We shouldn't be, too much by his elite bedfellows, as disappointing as it is consistent with what Chomsky has been saying, what he's a part of the elite for at least 30 years. Seen him openly talking about it in the 80s during a Q&A. Yeah, but just I agree with you completely, but the scale of Epstein is different than just him, really enjoying being the wine and cocaine, intellectual that gets all the doors of power opening for him. That's one thing, and most of us, especially leftists, understand this. This always happens, and I even interviewed a brilliant person on the deprogrammed, a month ago that talks about this in detail. Everybody knows that power co-opts most academics, even the most well-intentioned ones. Blah 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 blah. But the level of like with Epstein, really, bruv. After he was convicted, bro, and then you say, well, then you're like, don't you know that in civilization, once somebody leaves jail, they have they should be treated as equal members of society. Oh, God damn it, dude.
Is to put out as many of the photos as possible while protecting, of course, the survivors. Including in the photos are many photos of women and many photos that are disturbing and that need to
he did his time, bro.
Be redacted, and that we need to think through very carefully in how those are presented to the public. Because at the end of the day, the most important thing is that we protect the survivors, and I've personally met with numerous survivors, both individually and in groups, and this is critical to the investigation. But there is, make no mistake, that beyond what folks have seen today, Jeffrey Epstein was a sick man. Ghislaine Maxwell was a monster, and the harm and abuse that they have caused women and children needs to be exposed, and the power.
Ironically, somebody clip me listening to that shit and send that shit to Hassan when he fucking streams or whatever the fuck. Like, ironically, send that shit to Hassan. Let's make that shit viral. That shit should go viral. And I'm gonna ride the coattails of that virality like a proper grifting bitch. That's why I want you to clip me with it and then post it, because I fucking found this. I am the original sinner. I will always be blessed with the blood of corn.
Powerful men that did that harm need to be exposed, and there has to be justice.
Hassan is not allowed Balkan posting. What the fuck do you mean? Hassan is literally Serbian. What the fuck? He's literally Balkan. I don't understand what you're saying.
I want to be clear that from my perspective, I agree wholeheartedly.
I don't allow Turkish cope. Yeah, there's so many tall Turks out there. Yeah, you're 100% Turkish. Yeah, bro.
Wholeheartedly, right? That there's no transparency prerogative here that would override the protection of those who have been abused here. But I just want to get a clearer sense from you. Like, are you saying there is documentation of these abuses? That, like, in the photos there is documentary evidence of some of the things that Jeffrey.
Chat 40-50 more fucking subs and we gamble. Let's fucking gamble. Let's fucking go 6969 6767 motherfucker 609.
Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell were convicted of doing.
There is, in the photos, there is clearly photos of women, a variety of different. There are hundreds and hundreds of photos that we've already seen. And as a reminder, we've only seen.
Come on, tell us exactly what.
About 25,000 of the 95,000 batch. So we've been going through the whole production in batches. But of the 25,000 photos that we have seen, there are hundreds and hundreds of photos of women.
What's this? The worst people of all time tier list maker. Wow, so good. This one. This is
I can help you talk to someone.
There you go. That's my list. Bro, what is Vlad doing down there? It's a worst people in history list. Vlad was based as fuck. What are you talking about? Anti-imperialist super soldier. What the fuck? Second guy is Albert Fish, a pedophile murderer who wrote to the victims' parents about how tasty their children was. Are you fucking kidding me? Holy fucking God. Fucking base. Right next to the ukulele girl, okay? Who's the next guy? Who's the redhead? Who's the redhead guy? Who's the redhead guy? Yeah, putting Hassan next to Vlad the Impaler is intentional commentary. That's Playboy Cardi. That's Playboy Cardi. Where the fuck is? I mean, yeah, the fucking yeah. How is Bibi not here? I have no idea. Who's the next guy? Who's the lady? The only lady on the list. Who's the only lady on the list? Who's the lady person? Who's the chubster? I don't think I know. I don't remember. Was this the? I don't know. I don't want to get myself in trouble. I don't know who this is. Edgar Allan Poe. What the fuck? This guy, I don't remember who he was either. Torture guy in Iraq? Okay, this is the list of all the relevant ones. Okay, let me see if I want to move anybody up or down. I mean, he did blow up hospitals and planes, so I move him up. Yeah, Dana White I just pushed up, ironically. These are basically all the serial killers. The only serial killer that gets to be here is next to really some of the worst people, like celebrities and Nazis. And the ukulele girl, like, is there an S plus tier? Ukulele girl is right up here with Hitler, above Hitler. There you go. That's my list. Screenshot this and send this to your mother. What did Justin do? He ruined my prospects as a 14-year-old to get laid. The beef will be eternal. Context on the ukulele girl? I don't know. She plays a tiny ukulele. It makes me very angry. Baby, baby. Ooh. There we go. Would you change this? I think this is a perfect list. What would you change on this list? This is a 10 out of 10 list. Dana and Stalin? I mean, Dana's today Stalin, dude. They're all on the same list. I think it's a perfect list. Columbus A at least. Is this... No, this is not Columbus, blood. There's no Columbus. I don't think we have Columbus. Where did you see Columbus? Is this Columbus? Oh, shit, блядь. What the fuck? I thought it was some writer guy. What? Wait, let me zoom. Oh, my God, it's Columbus. What the fuck? Fuck my life. Yes, it's absolute... Dude, she's S tier. No. Columbus... Okay, but A tier. A tier. Everything that came after him is S tier. He himself was fucking disgusting and fucked up, but everything that came after him is S. Well, all of these, like, led to the horrors of humanity, okay? I am putting Columbus under Justin Bieber. Nixon, F tier? What the fuck are you... What? You like Nixon? You're like, Nixon is based. Biden, move him up. Oh, come on. You want me to put him next to... Okay, yeah, that would be funny. Yeah, well, that's pretty funny. I mean, the genocide in Gaza, you're correct. He should be here. Yeah, he should be here. There you go. Very good criticism. Nixon is a secret Maoist. Saddam and Andrew Tate in the same tier. Absolutely, you know? I love this. Saddam was reborn as him. Below Bin Laden doesn't make any sense. Of course he's below Bin Laden. What the fuck? I think you guys are missing how this works. This is the worst people in history tier list, okay? The further down they go, the more based I think they are. Okay? In a way, in a weird way. Like Kim would get C at best, but because he is in this context, I'm giving him A directly, you know? Because you compare everybody. And if it was based list, I don't know. That would be difficult. Have you taken your screenshots? Very good.
Of which there are hundreds and hundreds of photos that we've already seen. And as a reminder, we've only seen about 25,000 of the 95,000 batch. So we've been going through the whole production in batches. But of the 25,000 photos that we have seen, there are hundreds and hundreds of photos of women, of which some of those are very disturbing, and of which some of those are horrific in nature and certainly sexual.
I can copy the link. What, the link changes? Oh my God, sorry. There you go. This is mine. Haha.
Nature. And so that's the work that the team and the research team right now is focused on. And we're going to ensure that the public gets transparency, that we get the information out, and we're being very thoughtful about protecting those women. And again, we just got this yesterday, but we are committed to transparency and the truth will get out. And right now, there is one person in the United States that has the power to bring justice to these women and to get the truth out, and that's Donald Trump. He should release the files today.
Yeah, I mean, thank you for being a little clearer there. I really don't want to be prurient here. I don't want to, what you're saying is really true, but just, I think there's some sense, right, that people have that was any of this documented? Are there videos or pictures? And that's a horrific thing to contemplate, but also...
The craziest part of the whole thing is just how comfortable all of these super powerful people are. What do I mean by this? They just let you take photos of them. Like... They don't give a shit. Or they're just boomers, bro. A chatter yesterday said, these are just boomers. They're like, oh, we're taking photos now. Like, this can't come bite me in the ass, dude. I can just email you about fucked up shit.
Is part of the story here.
You know, Epstein was not boomer coded. Epstein would always be like, call me. Like, half of the emails are him replying to, like, crazy questions with call me or I'm calling you. He was a call guy.
In terms of what this individual did, what the people around him may have.
Nice for the people at ID Software. Thank you. Or ID Software. Thank you very much, Comrade Internet, for sharing that. That's very nice.
Have done, we don't know. In terms of these files, these came from the estate. Now, I want to ask you something that was raised by my colleague Lisa Rubin in the first block of this program, which is she seemed to indicate that your committee has a lot of files and only a small sliver of them have been made public, that there are bank files, that there are other things, and I can't tell how much those are affirmative decisions being made by the chair, Jim Comer, how much those are working your way through production carefully. Like, how would you describe why we have seen what we've seen and why we haven't seen what we haven't seen, if that makes sense?
Absolutely. Look, I think first what's really important here is that every single document, photo, video that we have is because we have fought for them on the Oversight Committee as Democrats. And Republicans, every single step of the way, have tried to block the release. They try to stop our vote on the subpoena. Donald Trump brought in members of Congress to the.
Yeah, they're doing the thing that absolutely 100% of everybody expected them to do, which is milk the whole Epstein saga as cheap political points. As in, of course you're going to do that. That's chill. But they're low key saying the quiet thing out loud, which is 100% of the time they're going to talk about how you should let the justice system do its thing, how in the United States of America it's the most perfect justice system ever, and at least not perfect, but they always say that it's better than anywhere else, and that the real culprits will be put behind bars. But when it comes to pursuing very powerful people that did some exceptionally questionable things, they very openly state, oh no, we need the president to intervene and make sure that all of the victims get justice. All of a sudden, you need the executive body to intervene with the legislative body. Turns out every single branch of government needs to come together if you want to persecute or prosecute incredibly wealthy and powerful or influential individuals. Isn't that crazy? Saying the quiet part out loud, screaming it out loud, dude.
Situation room, try to stop the vote from happening on the floor. And so Republicans, Mike Johnson, James Comer, at every single turn have dragged their feet and participated in this White House cover-up. Of what we currently have, we have one batch of documents from the DOJ. All of those documents were essentially already public records. So that was already given to the public. So there's nothing new there. Of the other documents that we have, much of what we have either is already in the public record, Democrats have already put out as a committee, and we still have not put out yet fully are the bank records. And I'll tell you why. We're working right now with our partners on the Senate Finance Committee, in both the Senate and the Financial Services Committee in the U.S. House. And we are carefully going through a complex system of documents, ledgers, bank statements that connect money laundering, we believe, possibly, and also information about who was paying who and where Jeffrey Epstein was receiving all of his resources from. And I'll note this one other thing, which is important. The Republicans only decided to subpoena two of the banks, Deutsche Bank and JP Morgan. We've asked for over 20 banks to be subpoenaed. So we need Republicans to join
Deutsche Bank. It's a little Deutsche. Look at the little cute Deutsche, dude. So cute, the little Deutsche.
us and subpoena the 20 other banks where we want to get.
Why no more YouTube clips? We're figuring it out. We're recategorizing it because it wasn't working to the level that I wanted it to work. And thanks to Pandas and Cuphead, we're creating a adjusted format for the clip syndicate, as we like to call it, because the highlights channel is a collaborative effort. It is not simply mine. It's a mini co-op, as they like to say. So once we figure that out, we're gonna post it. Pandas is a fellow mod. The idea for the highlights channel for me was they use whatever I say whenever they want to. Obviously, everybody else is more than welcome to clip whatever they want, and they post it on the channel, and then we split the revenue. I carry the revenue and pay more until it starts making some decent revenue, and after that, we split a true socialist way, right? But yeah. We gotta figure out a proper way to do it so that it feeds itself, it's sustainable, and makes financial sense for the editors to fucking do it, right? That's the whole point.
Information from all of that.
'Cause I'm not gonna,
That is going to be critically important in the weeks and months ahead. But I'll tell you, Chris, we're making really, really good progress.
So, if there are images here, I mean, one thing.
When does chat get their cut? Shoot this man right now. This sort of speech is not allowed.
The thing that's striking to me is something that Andrew Weissman said earlier in the program. And this just pertains to, say, the birthday book, right? Which in some ways...
Okay, this is not the type of class consciousness we allow here on Ugopnik Twitch, okay? The non-subscribed lumpen chatters, there you go. Very good. Thank you. Thank you for silencing this fascistic talk. This anti-streamer bigotry, okay? Fucking non-subscribers coming in here talking about getting paid. You fucking lumpen. Shut up, lumpen chatter. Chat. Mods. Subscriber only chat right now. Come on. Subscriber only chat right now. Very good. Very good. Okay. We are safe. They started talking about some crazy shit about like how the lumpens need to be paid. It's absolutely fucking absurd. Fucking weird ass mother. Like, god damn it, chat. Like, right, guys. Like, we're pretty comfortable here, right? If you want anybody to join in on our comfort, you're very welcome to pay your taxes, give some subs. We need more people on our side. True chat cops. Okay, like the lumpens think they can have an opinion. It's fucking hilarious. It's absolutely fucking funny. But we need larger numbers. We need to swell our numbers because we are still a minority in chat, okay? And that allows them to potentially swell up and overtake us. And I'm definitely not now utilizing one segment of chat against another segment of chat by inventing a class, like the middle class, which is the subscribers, so that I can force them into negative sentiments against the very same class they belong to, the working class allegory here, being non-subscriber chatters. I'm definitely not doing that. Definitely in no way doing that. There you go. That was your explanation of why the middle class was invented as a means to divide the working class against itself. Okay? Welcome back in, non-subscriber chatters. You're fine. Der Pulitzer, thank you for paying forward your gifty. There you go. Creating more superior middle-class chatters and not like fucking working-class plebeian non-subs. It's absolutely crazy. You know how like the only way for society to actually grow, and chat is an allegory for society, is when very successful people allow their wealth to trickle down. And they do that by gifting a sub. Especially because we're like, no ads, okay? No sponsors. And if we hit the target, we get to gamble, which makes it go fucking crazy where you punish me, okay? The most underprivileged person in this entire relationship to spend his own money, potentially, and help out fellow chatters and help out fellow oilers by potentially doubling how much they are gifting. Elevating everybody together. The wealthier we become, the wealthier they become, right? So join my definitely not an MLM, fellow Oilers, as I remind you now, as we hit the third hour, as the third subscription tower is hit to get us to that Gamba point, and then we can have a lot of fucking fun, okay? Let's fucking do it, chat. I know you got it in you. I know you got it. It's literally 3 Western taxpayers, and we hit the target. That's absurd. It's 3 Western taxpayers, or 12 developing world taxpayers, or 60 individuals, child soldiers, of course. People who do not understand what I'm saying are not in the loop. The little known third tower, yes. I don't know if you've heard, but there was apparently 7 towers. But I don't want you to know about that. One of them still stands.
I think it kicked off a lot of this. The Wall Street Journal is reporting about that.
Do you accept gifties from child soldiers? 100%, yes.
Am I right that nothing from the estate has ever come into the custody of law enforcement?
Marx was so real for calling the unsubbed lumpen proles 1,000,000%, dude. 6-7 towers, dude. I mean, if everybody gave 6-7 subscriptions 6-7 times, we would hit the target.
In ways, I think it kicked off a lot of this. The Wall
Come
Street.
on, just that is worth a bunch of oil. Just that is worth so much oil.
Journal is reporting about that. Am I right that nothing from the estate?
Or should I repeat this particular grift argument 6-7 times? Because usually people say that an individual needs to hear something 6-7 times in order to properly do something. So,
has ever come into the custody of law enforcement? That everything being turned over by the estate, including the photos you got, like this is the first time U.S. government representatives or anyone has gotten this information. Is that true?
We're actually not sure what representatives of the government or the DOJ may have that the estate also has. There's certainly a lot the estate has that, according to some of the DOJ, they do not have. Look, the birthday book, Donald Trump spent weeks saying it didn't exist, as we remember. Right. There have been comments from members of the DOJ and members of the administration that they weren't aware, obviously, of some of what the estate has. And so that is likely true, that there are documents and photos that we're releasing to the public, including possibly ones that we released today, that are not in the possession of the DOJ. But I also want to be very clear that what we've released and what we have is a tiny amount of production compared to what the DOJ has. From what we understand from talking to folks at the FBI as well as the DOJ, there's an enormous amount of documents, of records, of photos.
U.S. House Democrats have released...
Let's listen to the crowds, because it's always funny to listen to the crowds. Somehow they can out-American even Americans, okay? Not enough people are talking about just how imperialized the Germans are, because we're low-key like, hey, after World War II, who gives a shit? They were Nazis. It's fucking hilarious. But it's low-key at this point concerning. Like crowds are just Americans that speak like a funnier version of English.
More photos showing Donald Trump and other influential...
It's not even... I don't know who calls Germany a different, separate country to the United States of America. It's embarrassing.
...figures with the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. The U.S. president...
It's like a less genocidal, for now, version of the 52nd state of the United States of America. Israel, Jisrael, as we like to call it.
President.
Same as Japan, yes. But Japan is still, I don't know, in all the worst ways, kept some of its cultural norms. All the reactionary ones, of course. But Germany is just like fucking Yankeefied on steroids. I can't wait for McDonald's bratwurst yet. AFD is trying to bring back the Fourth Reich in Germany. Absolutely, but I like to joke. Like AFD wants to be the 0.1 Reich. It wants to be part of the American Reich. Like there's no fucking independence in the AFD pitch whatsoever. It is like we believe that there is not enough sucking of the American pepes. Okay, we want more sucking of American pepper. We want a free and independent, like blood, and this land belongs to Americans. You know, blood and soil, blood and American soil, blood and American soil, über alles. AFD is very hard-coded. AFD is literally just fucking. We want to be an American colony party pretending to be, pro-sovereignty. There is no right-wing party in the entirety of the European Union that is actually pro-sovereignty, because all right-wing parties are literal fucking MAGA dick riders that just want to be accepted by the big beautiful American Big Brother. Ja. Eine kleine amerikanische Wurst in meinen Mouth.
Is pictured alongside.
They also position themselves as pro-Israeli, which I can't tell is because they love fascism, or it's because they love American-styled fascism and they love American intervention everywhere, because also Americans fund them. And sure, Russians send a bunch of fucking money, but it's so fucking funny to me when they're like, "Oh my God, the Russians are causing the rise of the far right in Europe." I'm like, okay, sure, probably the Russians in the last year have invested $20 million in far-right parties around Europe because it's in their interest for idiots to run European countries. But the United States of America has the wealthiest person on planet Earth agitating for the AFD, and right now, the president openly agitating for far-right parties in the European Union, openly agitating for the dismantlement of the European Union as a pathway to greater ethno-nationalism, and on top of that, probably sending like hundreds of fucking millions of dollars, forcing them to pay a higher percentage of their GDP to NATO, forcing them to buy more firearms, forcing parties that are going to agree with the United States into parliament or even into the executive body. And you're telling me it's the Russians manipulating fucking European politics? Sure, the Russians are manipulating European politics. Americans are dictating European politics. There's a big difference between those two. You fucking pussy-ass liberal bitch motherfucker, dude.
Epstein, and with a group of women whose faces have been obscured so they can't be identified. Other images show Epstein with Bill Clinton. Also pictured are Bill Gates, Britain's former Prince Andrew, Woody Allen, and as well as Trump's former aide Steve Bannon. It's not known when or where the photos were taken. The pictures released by Democratic lawmakers are only a small part of the more than 95,000 images.
What was your reaction to those new photos that were released?
Well, I haven't seen it, but I mean, everybody knew this man. He was all over Palm Beach. He has photos with everybody. I mean, almost there are hundreds and hundreds of people that have photos with him. So that's no big deal. I know nothing about it.
Alana Shaw joins me from Washington, D.C. now. She's a senior editor at the U.S. news outlet.
Russia is financing far-right parties since a decade. Yes, that is correct. The United States of America invented the concept of financing far-right parties and far-right death squads and far-right assassinations and far-right terrorist attacks, and invented the concept of far-right parties serving foreign interests while pretending to be nationalists. Both of these things can exist at the same time, my friend, okay? The reason I'm commenting it and the reason I'm bringing up, Russian intervention is not to whitewash Russian intervention. Quite to the contrary. It is to make sure that American intervention is not whitewashed by continuously focusing on by continuously like spinning that, oh, the evil Chinese, the evil Indians, the evil Russians, the evil whatever, fucking Brazilians. It doesn't matter what country it is. I genuinely like it does as a means to take focus away from very good patriotic and democratic influence from the beautiful West versus the very problematic and evil and authoritarian influence, as if not all foreign influence crushes the idea of sovereignty and is de facto, even by liberal definitions, authoritarian and invasive and imperialist, but whatever.
Semaphore, Alana, great to see you. We just heard Trump speak. What do you make of his response?
Well, Donald Trump is obviously threatened by these files. Their drip release is not good for him politically, but he is sticking to what he said the whole time, which is, yes, I encountered Jeffrey Epstein, acknowledging they had a social history together, frequently at Mar-a-Lago. And that's not speaking anymore. He's just kind of described the relationship as a rift before Epstein's troubles started.
Alana, just in terms of this latest release, what do these particular images actually show that we haven't seen? What contexts do they give us?
To be honest, not a lot. I mean, obviously, it's striking to see Trump, Bill Clinton, other famous faces in these photos, but all of these people, including Woody Allen, who's been rather unapologetic, frankly, in recent months about this, all these are people who we've known have been Epstein associates. No. Perhaps the biggest revelation in the photos, honestly, is the Trump-branded condoms and the portrayal of sex toys. The Democrats who released these photos suggested that that's the tip of the iceberg and there's more explicit content coming.
Do you get the sense that a release of...
You know that being a reactionary is a mental disease when absolutely all of their favorite guys turned out to be directly incorporated in their favorite conspiracy of all time, and yet they're not abandoning the project. The favorite conspiracy of all right-wingers is evil Jewish pedophile cabal. And their favorite people are Donald Trump and obviously Dark Lenin Brennan, okay? And both of them are directly linked to dark, evil, pedophile Jewish cabal. And yet they're still like, oh, yeah, no, this is not a contradiction in my belief system. I'm just going to keep believing this shit. It's, a lot of dropping on the head as a baby is sometimes more influential than any material conditions. This is what Marx really, really did not really failed to mention. Introducing history's most prominent eugenicist, Miss Helen Keller. You'd have to be dumb as hell to expect Woody Allen to apologize. Even Vanity Fair articles illustrate how if his niece is at the mansion or whatever, he needs to be babysat because he will take her in the bushes if someone loses track of him for more than 20 minutes. That's fucking insane. Yeah, like expecting Woody Allen to apologize as being like, I don't know, oh, Marilyn Manson probably likes to do some fucked up shit during intercourse. Did you see the guy? Like, what? Blunt force trauma is material influence to an extent. There you go. That is the type of criticism I always want to receive here.
Photos like this still sends Republicans ducking for cover?
Yes and no. I think Republicans have a lot of other problems at this point.
And a spokesperson for Trump has accused the Democrats of cherry-picking the photos in this release. Is that criticism, in your mind, valid in any way?
It's honestly rather valid, and here's why. This is an attempt by Democrats to, as you say, get Republicans to duck and cover. Republicans have an abundance of problems in U.S. politics. Jeffrey Epstein was a huge deal for them a couple of months ago when they're polling on the economy, when other things were still strong. Now, Jeffrey Epstein is honestly like a bit of a political sideshow in America. He's obviously of great interest, but the law that required the release of these files has passed already. So there's a credible sideshow argument here. What we're not discussing about these photos is the real questions about whether the files will be released on time. Democrats wanted to draw attention to Trump's problems today, but nobody's really discussing the possibility that Trump's own administration might delay the release, come up with excuses to not do the release by December 19th, which the law specifies.
And as we wait for that moment, Trump is using the word hoax. He's used it in reference to the Russia investigation, now this. How do Americans feel at this point, and Republicans? Is there a cumulative effect?
Yeah, those two are not the same thing. He can't help himself but not use the moment for some consent manufacturing. He's my favorite guy. I wish you 1,000 years of diarrhea with blood in it.